Hey there people, how you doing? So, today we're gonna review the iPhone 12 and I hope you guys enjoyed that little intro I made. It took a while, but anyways, the iPhone 12 is unexpectedly one of the more interesting devices I've used. And that's because there are certain quirks about the iPhone that could in some ways compel you to almost buy this phone if in case you have been holding out on it, or maybe it could make you shy away entirely. Depends. But as tradition indicates, we're going to start off with the design. So for the front of this iPhone, the display or the screen, I'm not a huge fan. I don't like the much thicker bezels that we have got all around. Sure, you could say that yes, we have symmetry and all the bezels are the same except for the huge notch. Yeah, look, including the notch and the larger bezels, it's not the best looking device. If we move on to the rest of the device, well, things change drastically because this time around we have gone back to the age of the iPhone 5 because this design with the completely flattened sides all over the place, that is how the iPhone 5 was made. And well, I've got to be honest, I like this. I like this a lot because look, I'm always a form over function kind of guy. I always like it when the phone ends up looking unique, and maybe, sure, it'll make the device in question a little bit more uncomfortable to hold. But to be honest, the way Apple has made this device, I have to say, I didn't feel it becoming uncomfortable in my hand. I never, not once, felt like the sharper edges made me get some hand fatigue or whatever you may call it. There was nothing uncomfortable about this device. Now, of course, I cannot say the same for the larger iPhones. That has an entirely different story. But for the regular iPhone 12, this design is near perfect. Other than the screen, of course. So, I think I want to say that the iPhone 12's design, on one hand being a little bit more unique because of the flattened sides and everything, and then on the other hand, the negative side of things, the iPhone 12's screen is a little bit dated. So I think it cancels each other out in a way, and you could say that the design is nice but not incredible or amazing. That's not something I would say for the iPhone 12 at least. So what about the display? It looks great. No doubt about that. I know it looks great. It's Samsung AMOLED and Apple tweaked it to look very nice indeed. But the problem is that we have no high refresh rate, and at this price point, there are phones out there with smooth, buttery, at least 90 Hz of high refresh rate, and that makes a huge difference. And I know some people are out there gonna say, okay, those who have not used high refresh rate displays, they do not know how high refresh rate looks. Well, they're missing out, and they're gonna miss out if they buy the iPhone 12. I felt like my heart was ripped out when I first used this display after switching from the Note 20 Ultra's buttery smooth 120 Hz. It's a fact. If you buy this phone, you're gonna be missing out on high refresh rate. It's an amazing feature, and I don't know, I'm not a fan of the display simply because of the lack of high refresh rate. Everything else about the display, with the resolution and all that, it's all good. It's much better than its predecessor, the iPhone 11. It's a huge upgrade compared to that. But the fact is, as compared to its competition currently, the Android competition, the iPhone 12's display is very lackluster because all displays look nice. All of them have HDR support. By the way, this one has Dolby Vision HDR. I'll talk a little bit later. But fact of the matter is, they all look very nice. They all have very good brightness. But the high refresh rate is sorely missing from this. And so, like, the lack of the high refresh rate just makes it so difficult to recommend to anyone who has used high refresh rate or is interested in the feature, but is also interested in buying an iPhone. It's just such a major drawback. So yeah, other than the refresh rate, what about the HDR? Because I watch a lot of Netflix on my iPhone, and I gotta say, it was a great experience because Dolby Vision HDR is a lot better than HDR10. And because of that, and because of the support of Dolby Vision on the iPhones, and I think that's exclusive to iPhones, and I don't think there are any Android phones out there with Dolby Vision HDR support. So because of that, the HDR with Netflix Dolby Vision, it looks fantastic. Like, my god, it looks good. It definitely looks better than any other display that I've used to watch Netflix HDR, because none of the other phones I have around have Dolby Vision HDR. It's all HDR10, and those look nice. Sure, they do look very nice, but they don't matter, because the iPhone 12, if HDR is all you care about and Netflix is something you use to watch a lot of content, then this is gonna impress you. It's gonna impress you quite a bit. So yes, as good as the display looks, as good as Dolby Vision looks, I don't know, I'm not a major fan of this display because of the lack of high refresh rate. It just doesn't make sense to use a 60Hz device, especially when you're paying so much money for it. But then about the cameras, I mean, this is a major reason why people like to buy iPhones. It's because iPhone cameras, I've done a camera review entirely, do check that out if you want more details, but in a nutshell, the iPhone cameras are some of the most natural cameras that I've seen. It has no over sharpening, it has no extra vibrance, it always maintains like the ability to exactly replicate what it is I'm looking at. The scene that I'm looking at, where it's a sunset and it's got darker shadows, then it'll retain those darker shadows. Now on one hand, that could lead to some lower dynamic range as compared to other devices because it's trying to retain the natural look, but like end of the day, this is still amazing. And the first time around that I used this device with the natural look, I was kind of blown away, to be honest. Also, portraits and human subjects are hands down best on iPhones, and this year around it is no different. The iPhones are the best that you can get for human photography as such, and there's nothing that can beat that. I've done all my comparisons, you can check them out. The photos always end up with human subjects looking better on the iPhone 12. Then we have video and video quality, the raw quality, if that is what you're looking for. The iPhone 12 has it best. It's got the best looking video that I've seen on any device as such. But of course, like if you were to just look at it side by side compared to, say, the other flagships like the Note 20 Ultra or the OnePlus 8 Pro, the quality difference is not that noticeable, but the lack of a large and higher quality sensor is very noticeable, especially in low light, because in low light, as good as the processing and the software for the cameras are, it does suffer a little bit. It's not a major difference, but you will see more noise on the iPhone 12, less sharpness as such on the iPhone 12 in low light especially. So that is something to consider. But normal video, it's, yeah, to an extent you would say that it looks very nice on the iPhone 12. Very natural, once again. So if that is the look you're going for, you will get that on the iPhones. Night mode, however, is interesting because I think that the iPhone's main camera night mode is as incredible as it was before. It stacks up almost perfectly against the competition, and as a matter of fact, night skies are the best that I've ever seen on any device, and like night skies look amazing on iPhones, but the ultra-wide camera is not good at night. It needs a lot of optimization. It's got way too much over sharpening and noise. It needs to be optimized, and clearly it could do better. I think it could do better, but it doesn't meet the hype of ultra-wide night mode. So all in all, these cameras, they're impressive and they're amazing in every sense of the word. But like compared to its competition and compared to the lack of other crazy features like 108 megapixels or crazy zoom, none of that is present on any of the iPhones. The iPhone 12 Pro and Pro Max have 2 and 2.5 times zoom respectively, but that's nothing compared to the 3 or 5 times zoom that we can get in other devices. So when you think about that, these cameras are not the craziest or the best out there. They're good, they're amazing, they stack up very well against the competition, but they are not the best out there. At least I don't think they are. So what about battery and performance? I don't have to talk about performance. The A14 Bionic is crazy fast. Not once have I had any problems, and especially when editing photos and whatnot, it works so damn well. Like, wow, it is fast. And battery is also amazing with A14's 5nm architecture and the software optimizations to save battery. You couple with that the 60Hz display, which is, in my opinion, a huge disappointment. Well, the battery life is tremendous. You can easily surpass 6 hours of screen on time with medium to heavy usage, and at least I don't think I will kill it in a day. But the problem is that the lack of 120Hz would obviously mean that the battery life would be incredible, but even if it were to like impact the battery and give me like 5.5 hours of screen on time, I would still take that over a 60Hz display. At least that's what I think, and I know not everybody believes that. A lot of people want the best battery life, and for that, the iPhone is very good. Then we have 5G, which I cannot talk about because we do not have 5G in India. So, yeah. Charging, obviously, we have fast charging with Lightning. Apple, when will we get USB-C? I mean, come on, it's time already. But anyways, you get fast charging, you don't get the fast charging adapter or any adapter as a matter of fact. So you're gonna have to buy that or use something else. There's also wireless charging, and you do get fast wireless charging with that MagSafe adapter. If you want to buy that, go on ahead. But even normal wireless charging is plenty, and I didn't really feel like I needed fast charging because the battery life is so damn good. Now, let's talk about pricing, because I think that no matter how good an iPhone is, the price, it just doesn't justify buying the iPhone 12, or as a matter of fact, the iPhone 12 series in India. And do keep that in mind, because this problem is not everywhere. It's just, I believe, as far as I've encountered, it is in India, and I don't know where else we have this. So the iPhone 12, it comes in at $799, which is a good price, obviously. But in India, it comes in at 80,000 Indian rupees, and if you were to convert that to US dollars, well, God, I'm bad at math. Just give me a moment. Alright, I've got it. 80,000 Indian rupees to dollars is $1,088. Damn. Compared to 800 US dollars, which was a launch price. Like, Apple was all about, like, yeah, we didn't mark up prices too much. It was still $100 more than last year's iPhone 11, but there were many upgrades. But $1,088 in India? Why? Do you guys know? Because I sure as hell don't. I don't get it. Why is it so costly in India? I mean, damn, this makes no sense. Why is the launch price so high? I would like to know from you guys. If any of you know the real reason, do let me know. I'm genuinely asking. But another thing. So this was just the iPhone 12. What about the 12 Pro? And oh boy, it cost 1,20,000 Indian rupees. That is, man, I have no words for it. And you know how much that means in US dollars? Well, alright, firstly, the iPhone 12 Pro's launch price was $999 to be exact. It showed in Apple's presentation, and I was very happy because I knew that iPhones as such do cost more than their US prices. But can somebody explain why we have to spend $1,632 in India to be privileged enough to buy an iPhone 12 Pro? $600 more? Alright, $200 for the iPhone 12. Mildly understandable. But what is this? $600 more. My god, that is $300 more expensive than the Note 20 Ultra, one of the most expensive flagships to have ever come out in 2020. What's up with this price? Do you... Oh my god. You know what? Let's search for the iPhone 12 Pro Max price in India. That's gonna blow some minds, I'm telling you. On Amazon, Amazon.in, Amazon India, we have the iPhone 12 Pro Max 128GB coming in at 1,29,900, which, if you think about it, is not so much compared to the 12 Pro. But yeah, once again, for the 12 Pro, it was $1,600 that we have to shell out. Why? I don't know. Do you guys know? Please let me know why we have to shell out $600 extra for the iPhone 12 Pro and almost $700 more for the 12 Pro Max. And yes, I did have this similar question. So I went to this local Apple store and I just asked the dude who was there, like, what's the price of the iPhone 12 Pro? He told me 1,20,000 Indian rupees. And then I asked him why the hell does it cost so much? He told me that, and I don't know if he's right, I do not, but you know, I wanted to know, so I asked him. I literally asked him, why does it cost so much more? And he told me that Apple thinks Indians will buy iPhones no matter what they price it. So, the prices have been increased in India. Is he right? I don't know. I wish he isn't right because I don't want some weird thing like this to happen. I mean, come on. Well, the iPhone 12 it's a good buy for the price, sure. But you gotta keep in mind, you're paying $200 extra for the iPhone 12 and the 12 Pro, $600. Ladies and gentlemen, that is crazy. And apparently, I'm not sure, I don't know if this is true, but some guy working in an Apple store believes that the iPhone 12 Pro is priced extra because we Indians will end up buying it no matter what the price. I honestly cannot recommend in my right mind the iPhone 12 Pro and Pro Max simply because just how ridiculously expensive they are. And if you think about it, the iPhone 12, the regular iPhone 12, the one I have here, that one, like, you're just, like, huge air quotes, just paying $200 extra as compared to the US prices to buy this phone. And man, compared to the iPhone 12 Pro and Pro Max, this is a steal in my opinion. Like, the extra amount of money you're paying pales in comparison to the Pro and Pro Max, and that is absurd. Anyways, that is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, do hit that like button, and also let me know in the comments if you guys know anything about this absurd pricing situation with the 12 Pro and Pro Max. And of course, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will be seeing you guys later. Cheers.